Lindsey Shifley. It's so nice to meet you. I am a mind-body coach of More Guts, More Glory, Pitching and Wellness, and I'm also a mind-body chef for Compass Hiking and Yoga Retreats. Welcome to Pilot-Like Family Meal, where I'll be showing you how to make mountains of roots. I can't wait. So let's get started, everybody. So before I start cooking, I like to read over that recipe, and I also like to have all of my ingredients and my utensils, and that is called mise en place. I like to think of it as something that we all do as athletes, right? When we go to practice, we bring all of our equipment, we have everything ready to go so we can be efficient, right? And so it's kind of the same thing, right? So I have all the root veg I'm going to be using. I have a couple sweet potatoes. I have some already cooked up beets. In fact, I found them in the grocery store already vacuum sealed and packed. So how fun is that? I have my Parmesan cheese, my Italian seasoning, my salt and pepper ready to go. And what else do we need? And our butter. Here we go. How could I forget? I didn't introduce you to John. He's my kitchen mascot. He cheers me on when I get, if I get down on myself, if something doesn't turn out the way I want to, if I make a dinner and my family doesn't like it, John's cheering me on, right? You gotta begin again. Let's get started with mixing up our fats. I already melted my butter, and I have some olive oil here. Again, you can use all oil, you can use all butter, and I'm doing a combination of both. So I really want you to feel creative and use whatever you have in your kitchen. So I'm gonna go ahead and I have about 2 tablespoons of butter here melted, and I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Root. There we go. And to this, I'm going to add just a pinch of salt. Yep. You like my sound effects? And some pepper. And then I'm gonna take my spoon, and I say slowly because it's really easy to get too fast and then all of a sudden your butter is all over the place. So just go ahead and mix all of that in. And I have about 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. If you don't have maple syrup, you don't have to add it in here. You can add in to your mixture of Parmesan cheese and our Italian seasoning, okay? That was kind of a weird way to pour it. I'm gonna go ahead and mix this up, and let's go ahead and pour this in a bowl here, okay? Because I'm gonna toss that, okay? And then I'm gonna take my ½ teaspoon of each salt and pepper, and I'm gonna mix that up. This is where if you just have sugar, you're gonna put your sugar in here, okay, and mix all of that up. I'm gonna use maple syrup today because I really love how the maple flavor, how it gets into the root veg. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this into my butter, just like so, and stir that in. Don't you feel like a mad scientist? I do. I have 2 sweet potatoes, and this variety is actually called a Japanese sweet potato. So it's a little bit lighter in flesh, it's not as orange, and a little bit more purple. I think you know why I like the purple. And speaking of purple and Northwestern and go cats, let's talk about knife skills and the cat claw. The cat claw is designed so that you don't chop off those little fingers, and you keep your thumb safe and behind your cutting. The other thing I like to do, especially when I'm working on a root veg that's round and not as stable, and adults, you can do this depending on the age of your sous chefs. I like to go ahead and make a cut that flattens it out, and it's just so much easier to cut, okay? Now I have a nice stable surface. And, whether you discard this or not, so much easier to cut. So I'm gonna have my cat claw, I've got a nice firm grip, pinchers, okay? And I'm going to rest the blade of that knife on my knuckle and tuck my thumb back, and that way I don't lose any fingers. And I just scrub my root vegetable clean. The sweet potatoes, there's a lot of really great nutrient-dense vitamins and minerals in the skin, so I'm gonna go ahead and keep them. If you wanna peel them, feel free. Think about the rocking chair, right? The rocking chair goes tip of the rocking chair down, okay? So I'm gonna do that when I cut here. I'm going to center my blade, okay, on the root veg. I've got my cat claw and I've got my knife tip down, and I'm gonna go ahead and come down, okay? So just that rock chop action, even though we're not actually rock chopping, right? Beets. I love beets. They are my favorite root vegetable of all time. There's also 2 colors of beets out in the world, yellow and red, and I'm using these lovely red, and I found these in the grocery store already vacuum packed, already baked. Of course, you can roast your own, but this is a little shortcut for you. And as you can see, moms and dads, this is a great task for little ones that aren't quite ready to use the big knife, and it's soft, and you can use a paring knife. Check out that one. That's gonna make a good mountaintop. So I'm gonna coat them nice. Each one of them, just gonna kind of get them going. Okay, my little athlete chefs. Or do you prefer chef athlete? I don't know, kind of like the ring of both, so you can decide. You have a couple options. We can lay all of our root vegetable in one layer, sprinkle everything with Parmesan cheese, and stack later. And that can be done at the table, so fun, right? A little playing with your food. Or we can make our mountains now. And I think that's the option we're gonna do together. I like to get the big ones on the bottom, right? We need a big base for our mountain. There's no rules to your layers, by the way. Okay, are you ready? I am. Let's put these puppies in the oven. Don't let them fall on your way over there. Has leftover Parmesan cheese like me. This is a garnish. When your roots are done, add a little bit of snow. Why don't you? And feel free to add more Parmesan, more spices, a little bit more salt and pepper, you know, whatever you fancy. You could even try some paprika or some chili powder. The world's your mountain to climb. Be creative. Oh no, a mountain fell over. Earthquake. Don't worry about it. You can put them back on top when you're done cooking them. While I wait for my mountains to be done, I like to work on my pitching form. It's a strike every time in my mind. Yeah. Ooh, man, they're sizzling. They smell so good. And yes, a couple of mine fell, but that doesn't mean anything. I can put them right back on top of each other. Look at that. Mountains of imperfection. That's what I love about this. If they fall down while they cook, it's okay. Put them back on top of each other when you get them out of the oven. And then I love, oh, see what I mean? I love to sprinkle some snow on top. Enjoy these mountains. I love being in the mountains. I love eating outside. And there's just so many different types of mountains out there and around the world, different heights. Ugh, have so much fun thinking about those glorious, glorious peaks in our world. I love eating slow, closing my eyes, really savoring. It really helps you take in all the different tastes, the savory, the umami. The umami is that, the cheesy taste, the comfort food taste, it's amazing. The sweetness of the maple syrup, or the sugar if you use that, the salt, the pepper, the spices, the Italian spices, and then of course the taste of those beets and the sweet potato together. Amazing. Oh, home run. Thank you so much for joining John and I today. We really enjoyed it. We feel full, not just because we got to eat some mountains of roots, but we got to fill you up with a really cool, fun recipe. Please tag us on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at Pilot Light Chefs, #PLF Family Meal, and visit our Food Education Center and click on Family Resources for today's recipe, additional activities to do related to today's recipe, and for additional family lessons and videos. Until next time, see you later. Woo! He says bye.
We want to know how you and your family are enjoying this recipe and making it together. So tag us. Find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Pilot Light Chefs, #PL Family Meal.